Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to talk about Net HTTP, another very highly used uh, package in Golang. So let me open it in the integrated terminal. We're just going to take out some code from the documentation itself. Now let's go to index overview. Right. So let's use this. Let's go over here. Save, and let's save this. Cool. Uh, Now, this HTTP package or net HTTP package basically helps you interact with the web. That's primarily why we use it. It also helps you make your own APIs. That if we'll see one small example at the end of the video. That's same as interacting with the web itself, right? So that's primarily the use case for this HTTP package. You see, we have something called http.Get, which will basically do a get call to this URL, and it will return you some response and some error that you can see this. The function http.Get, it takes in a URL, gives you a response and an error. That's fine. This response is something HTTP or response, some custom data type. We'll talk more about these when we talk about structs or interfaces. But for now, it gives you something called HTTP response. So now we've made the call. Now, one very important thing is this. Whenever you create a connection, when you're interacting with the web, when you're opening a file, when you are um, connecting to your database, more or less everyone will recommend you close that connection once your functions are executed because there's a possibility of memory leaks. It will keep going on, consume everything, and that is not something you want. You have limited resources. So you don't necessarily need to use this defer function. I mean, you can just write um, this and it's totally fine. But why we write defer is because see, you can have a very big logic and it's very easy to, forget writing this it's line. It's a single line. So what Go recommends is, or what most people do is, as soon as they open something, they write a defer function to close it as well. And no matter how much logic you put in between, we know defer is going to get executed at the end. So it always makes sure that whatever you're doing, you're able to close it. That's all. That's one of the biggest use cases for defer you'll see. Now, assuming you have the response, there's no error, you need to parse that response because it is going to contain a lot of fields. So let's say I only want to see the response body. Now this is something the response provides. You can if you if let's see if this in part of the documentation, it should be here somewhere. Hmm, okay, I will find it for you before the next video. But basically this you can try to find the uh, what fields this HTTP response contains. That will be of great help when you're trying to, do something like this because you don't know it contains body. I mean, you can write something like response dot and it will tell you, but it's easier if you can, find it on the web. It will be much easier to read. But anyway, I know it provides a body. Now, whatever body you get, right? So it's not exactly going to be a string because um, it's coming from the web and uh, it is in a form called bytes. So that is why we are using another package called IO that is providing you with this read all capability, and that is how we pass it. Now let's try to. Okay, I've not created the logger. Let me do that. Log new logger. Let's see if I can print the body message if the response body is percentage is and I want to convert it to string, so let's do this. Cool, cool, and we get the HTML, basically whatever was on this page. And if you actually go to example.com, if you inspect, you'll see that this is basically the exact HTML that you are seeing over here. So one other thing is maybe you can do something like if response dot it now I know it provides a status code again, you can go through this list, but let's say it is not equal to http dot status. Okay. Um in that case maybe again throw um an error. I mean you can do a lot of things over here. But the important part is just try to get familiar with the response and what all it's providing. And yeah, I mean, this was your first Get API. Let's do one thing. Let's try to create one API of our own. And again, I'm going to use the documentation for this. There's something called listen and serve. This helps you define your own resources or your own endpoints. Um, Now, this http.listen and serve. Now, this basically is going to help you create your own server. It's going to run on your own machine and it's going to run on port 8080. And this nil you can ignore for now, but basically in Go there's two packages that are primarily used to create server. One is gen and one is mux. This nil kind of defaults to the mux implementation. I'll talk more about that in the next video. But for now, you can just understand that your server is going to run on this. And once you have a server, you're going to have multiple resources or multiple APIs, right? So for that, how do you define an API? You use this http.HandleFunc. The first argument is the resource name or the URL basically. So it's slash bar. And then you tell what it is going to do. It's going to take some function or basically whatever the logic is, that is this function. Now this function always has a writer and the requester. So basically response and a request. This R or HTTP request, this is what the user is going to send from the front end. It can contain some query parameters, it can contain a body, it can contain some form information, anything. And this W or the HTTP response writer, this is what you use when you want to send out a response. Now for us, actually this is not going to be useful here. Cool. Because this log is actually this log package because my log does not take into argument. So sorry, does not take in this argument. I think that was the error. We can ignore that. But yeah, I was saying. So basically, this W is what you need to write back a response to the customer or the user. And what are we writing? We are writing hello and HTML escape string r.url.path. I mean, this is quite uh, boring, so I'll just print it out and show you what it really means. So let's run the server, run.main go, and we're going to open one more terminal. And how to hit the API, we can use a curl command. It's something like http, http, my bad, slash localhost, and it's 8080. What is our resource? Our resource is bar. Anything else? Nope. And what do? We print out hello, and this r.url.path is basically the path or the resource that I'm accessing. Now I can open it up in the browser as well. It will show you the same result. Hello bar. You can see it's localhost 8000, right? So that's exactly what it is. I mean, this is exactly how you write an API. In the upcoming videos, we'll learn a lot more about API building, the good practices, differences between Gen, Mux, and how do you create multiple routes, interact with the database, all sorts of things. So please stay tuned in. Thank you. Bye bye.